We are live. Okay, good morning, everybody. I will. I will start by saying a prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity as a group and discuss the case, and please us that as we go throughout this meeting, that everything that we learn, we will be able to retain, and we'll have a good rest of the week. And I say these things in Christ, Amen.
Amen.
All right, so this week we read about the Ritz-Carlton and their history in opening up a new um, hotel in Washington, D.C. So what were some of the issues that you guys found in the case?
I thought it was hard to find issues.
Yep.
Was that just me, or did everybody have a hard time?
I think for me, the main issue I thought was kind of like in the last section, the dilemma section, where they talked about he wanted to lengthen the training process. That was really the only thing I thought of.
I also thought people that were suggesting it were like invested 70 million or something like that.
700 million.
700 million. And so you can't really just ignore someone that gives you $700 million and money. So you can't just ignore them. So that's kind of an issue.
Yeah.
So I talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, I found another issue with their occupancy. Like, I can't remember exactly where it said, but something about their occupancy always starts out low and then it gets higher because of unsatisfied customers.
Well, don't they? I think they just start out low just so they don't because their employees aren't very fast yet.
Yeah, so it says that they needed to increase it by at least 5% satisfaction because they're losing out on $300 million because of stuff that they can fix.
Yeah, it does.
Kind of like the basic mistakes that they're making.
Yeah. I said that could be an issue.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. So, define a competitive advantage. So, do you guys know or have an idea what a competitive advantage would be? What the term competitive advantage is?
Well, I just think they have better of something, better intel or better customer service or better assets. They just have the edge on that. It gives them a better
over than competitors.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It kept talking a lot about service that they focus on serving. They're not like just I don't know how to explain it, but they focused a lot on serving and that they were a service oriented. And I think that was an advantage that they have.
Yeah. So, kind of what you said, Adam. Competitive advantage, as Google claims, is a condition or circumstance that puts a company in a favorable or superior business position. So just an advantage over the other competitors. And what you were saying, Allison, the next question is, what is the Ritz competitive advantage? I agree that I think their service is or their commitment to service is like the number one advantage that they have over everybody else. Let's see. Service can be an elusive concept. What is the essence of the Ritz-Carlton experience?
Can be what?
So it says service can be an elusive concept. What is the essence of the Ritz-Carlton experience? So I guess, what are they trying to make sure you experience while you're staying there? Yeah.
Mm. Well, they want you to make sure that you feel that your top priority.
Mm-hmm.
All your needs are met. Did it say something about even knowing your name when you first get there or something? Like they really try hard to know the customer.
Yeah. So
Respect. I think they respect their customers.
Yeah, so just like their motto, which is we're serving ladies and gentlemen and we are ladies and gentlemen, something like that.
Yeah.
We are ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen. I think they really treat you, like you said, as top priority. You're the number one factor right there. Which at the beginning of the semester, I was on vacation and we were in Hawaii, and we went to we did a brunch at the Ritz-Carlton in Maui, and I mean we were there for maybe 2 hours, and it was quite the experience. It was pretty awesome. They were like super nice, and they were very helpful and friendly and everything. So like reading this and then thinking back to while we were there, I was like, wow, yeah, that's actually, they were, treating us like we were top priority. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I've never been to a Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, it was the first time I've ever been to one. So. Okay. So the next question is, what is the Ritz selling? So what are they selling?
Service.
Service?
It says in their case study they're not selling like rooms or anything. They're selling their service, their amazing service.
I'd add on quality service to that. I mean, that's what they're making a big point about. The staff and the whole experience is just quality service.
Yeah, I would also say they're selling an experience. I mean, you're really paying for the experience of being in a, luxury hotel. Okay, so how does the Ritz create ladies and gentlemen in only 7 days? So what does explain their 7-day countdown training thing?
Well, I felt their first day was just a huge pep talk.
Seemed like a big old party to me.
Like, yeah, like the guy in charge just stood up and talked about how awesome they were and how awesome they could be. And I don't know, I just felt like it was a huge pep talk. They might have even called it a pep rally, just to get them all pumped up.
Yeah. So yeah, they have, the first day is, everybody getting introduced to the company and everything. And then the next, 6 days is their actual training. And then they, open on the next, the 8th day, which seems like, to me, really short. But
It seemed short to me too. So I thought, how could they give that kind of service when did they really know their job by that time? That they could then provide this service? I questioned that myself.
Yeah, I think after only really 6 days, 5 or 6 days of learning your job, would you be exactly how the company expects you to be and to serve like they expect you to serve?
Well, and like I think
And
of
I
other
just
jobs, you're 6 days in and you still kind of have somebody that's training you or that has, that you're still kind of leaning on a little bit for guidance. And I thought for these people, they're all brand new.
Yeah.
Like who do they go to if they needed a little bit more training or questions or whatever? I think they're all new. And do they know each other well enough? I don't know.
No,
It just
I
seems
agree.
short to me.
So then the next section is, should McBride lengthen the amount of time spent training? Why or why not? So then if you agree that they should keep it as is, what expectations do you think the customers have for the Ritz-Carlton that has just opened? How much training should be done doing the job? Do you really want to learn at the expense of your customers? And like how much or what should 700 million buy in a way of influence? And then if you think it should be lengthened, how would you know, like, when you're at the point of, okay, I think we can open up, I think everyone's trained enough? How do you maintain the momentum for starting a new job and being excited about the new job? And what are other ways that staff could get experience without delaying the opening? So what do you guys think? Should they lengthen it or should they keep it as is?
I said they should lengthen it just at least another week. Give them full 5 days of actually working in the position. Like, they said that they did like mock things, like mock runs of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought if they had a good 5 days of those mock things, like 5 days of training, 5 days of mock trial, then I don't think that it would be at the expense, that would learn stuff at the expense of the customer. I mean, they still probably would learn some things because some things you just can't plan for.
And my question would be, how much more prepared would simulations help them,
Mm-hmm.
There's some things you kind of just have to learn on the job, You can't simulate all the different customers' reactions or what they're going to say, what they're going to do. Some of it you have to learn on the job. So would extending the training period really be necessary to help them with being more prepared, or would they do better at just learning on the job?
In my write-up, I said that it could also boost a little bit of confidence, that they might, I don't know, understand their job a little better and have some confidence in it.
I mean, kind of what you were saying, Adam, how much more can you be prepared? I was kind of thinking about it too, like how many times can you clean a room and still not know what you're doing, right? I mean, I feel like after 5 or 6 times of them showing you, okay, this is how you make the bed, this is how everything is supposed to look, once it's all clean, I feel like you would know what to do. But I also kind of think maybe in the ways of, if technical problems with like the system or something, maybe it would take a little bit longer to train on, this is how you look up a customer and do all these discounts and make sure that they're getting the proper.
So maybe it would vary by position. For positions that don't interact with customers so much, like maids or cooks or something like that, you got the 7-day training. But if it's more technical or service with the customers, maybe you have an extra few days on to, maybe go through a couple more scenarios or, troubleshooting things.
Yeah, and I think that would be a good idea, just because, kind of like you said, if you're not really interacting with the customers that much, then you really don't, I feel, need that much training.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the question is, do you really want to be learning at the expense of your customers? Do you think it's wise to open up and then, I guess for the first couple weeks, months that you're open, maybe not be at the level that you want to be because everyone's still training? Is it worth, losing the money or taking the couple bad reviews that you might get?
Well, I think it depends on like if where your brand is, like Ritz Carlton brand, or they've already established their brand name.
Mm-hmm.
I think people walk into there and expect a certain service as soon as they walk in. So I don't know. That's a hard one because you don't want to hurt your brand name if you've already got it established, but you don't want to. You want established. You need to build it. So you don't want bad reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No,
I think to a certain level, people expect kind of a learning curve in new organizations. I mean, you go to a newly opened restaurant, you don't expect them to be the best the first day, just because they're all still learning. So I think to a certain extent, it's okay, but it just depends on how bad it is, really.
I don't know. If I was paying lots of money to stay a night at a Ritz Carlton, I would want it to be pretty awesome from the get go.
yeah. And I kind of what you were saying, if they are, they already have an established name. So if you are a customer, you're saying, hey, we're going to go stay at the Ritz. We know the service is going to be amazing and everything's going to be awesome. And you get there, and yeah, sure. You give a little leniency because, okay, maybe you're still training, but I feel like you would still expect to be like, hey, you should know what you're doing. You guys are open. You should know what you're doing, right?
Right.
So the next question I thought was pretty interesting is, what should 700 million buy in the way of influence? So the Collins guy is part of the investors, the Millennium Partners, and they've invested $7 million. Should they have a lot of say in how the Ritz trains their people and pretty much runs the company, or? Yeah. Or do you think
you
it
buy
should
into
be?
something, are you an investor or are you a partner? I think that's the determinant. If you're an investor, I don't think you have any say because you're just investing. If you're a partner, then I think you have say.
Yeah.
Have some pull. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think for $700 million, I would be influenced pretty much to do anything. That's a lot of money. Yeah, I think I like what you said, investor versus partner. I'm not sure if they are just a partner or
Do
if
they
they are an
own the
investor.
building? Like I didn't quite understand like where they fit in. Like, did they own the hotel? I didn't know.
So, were they the ones that were doing the artwork in the building? I don't remember.
I think they own the building, and the Ritz is moving into the building. Like, I think they own the building in knowing that the Ritz is going to move into the building. I think that's what the...
Okay, so in the dilemma portion on the second paragraph, it says that to acknowledge that the 700 million investment made by the Millennium Partners in 6 Ritz-Carlton managed properties. So that's 700 million within 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. That's like an investor, like an investment.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just think as an investor, you're taking that risk. Even if it is 700 million.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, would you be okay with that? With the whole leaving $300 million, you know, with losing $300 million? Would you want them?
Listen to his opinion, but then maybe express why, you know, the Ritz-Carlton's been doing this 7-day training for how many years, and it's never failed them.
Mm-hmm.
So I said.
But I think it comes down to that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Before I finish reading. So what I suggested was, because you like Allison was saying, it's kind of been a theme. That's just how the company has done it, and it's succeeded really well, right? 7-day.
Mm-hmm.
So I went about it a little different way. I had them implement an online like training prep training program,
Mm-hmm.
just like because they have about almost like more than a month from the time they're being hired till opening week, and they don't do anything really with them except for talk to them about their employment.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggested implementing an online training where they could learn technical skills so that when they get on site, they could focus more on customer service. And that way they're doing something, they're kind of implementing a new strategy to make the investors happy,
Mm-hmm.
but also keeping their distinct opening strategy as the Ritz hotels. That was my suggestion.
That seems like a good one. I also agree kind of what you're saying. I mean, if you are the investing partners, you're investing in the Ritz-Carlton, I feel like you know that their brand is good. You know that they're a great company and they're making money and that people are going to stay at the place.
I feel like you would already know their training process.
Yeah, and you know how they're trained, so why is it? I mean, unless maybe in these other, 6 buildings they said the same thing of, why don't we lengthen the training thing? But I feel like it'd be kind of like you already know, so.
Maybe it boils down to that, like 300,000 they're leaving on the table as they work through the issues. Maybe that's what it has to comes down to. They thought we can cut into that and not have to. If we do more training, we won't lose that money,
Mm-hmm.
or we'll regain that money quicker.
Yeah.
As an investor, you would want more money, so you'd want it to be fully at occupancy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they think training will do that. I don't know.
Okay. So what principles, if any, from this lesson's reading apply to this case? What principles from this lesson's reading? From the book, the 5 Dysfunctions book.
Was this week when she quit? the marketing manager quit. Have you all read that? I didn't spoil it for anybody, did I?
She quits. No. Yeah, I think it's a little bit farther than that, isn't it?
Is it past that? Is this when they do a little bit of reorganization and Catherine like shortens her team up?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I read the book like way long ago.
I know. I read these chapters like a while ago, so I'm trying to remember.
No, I don't know.
But I mean, I guess principles, as you know, working as a team and focusing on results, kind of like what the reading discussion would be or was. I mean, it seems like they're focused on, you know, they're really focused on the service aspect of the hotel, and that's what, you know, like we said, that's what they're selling. They're selling quality service, and it seems like they really make sure that the employees that they're hiring know that and are focused on the fact that they need to really try their best while serving.
Mhm.
So I mean,
I think, like, I'm looking back at this book, I think from maybe what a connection I can make with it is, it seems like towards the end, like when they were the other business, that Green Banana, was gonna come in, offered to buy him out. And everybody was like, heavens no, we have come way too far to like sell out now. But that makes me wonder, as like an employee of the Ritz-Carlton, that you've got to be, you yourself as an employee has to be invested, and I think feel a part of something. I think that's where your alliance comes.
definitely.
But they're employees, and I wonder if that has to do with, like, in the beginning they do that pep rally, just getting them on board. A Ritz-Carlton fan, and then they feel they're them themselves and employees invested and will work hard for the company. I don't know, it's a stretch. It's hard to look for
No,
something.
I agree. I feel like when I was reading it, it seems like it would be a great place to work because they, you know, it seems like they really treat their employees well, and even when they're talking about like their little hiring section, their job fair, and all that stuff. Even if you didn't get a job offer, they still treated you really nicely. Right? Hey, you know, great. Thank you for coming out. You know, you did great. They treated you with respect and everything. That way, you didn't, you know, hate their brand. So even if you weren't working for them, they really treated you with respect. So.
And I just think as many people that showed up for that job fair, like, I was shocked that many people would show up wanting to work there. Like, I just wonder, they just must really treat their employees fantastically.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are really all the questions. Discuss how the Ritz-Carlton has done since the time of the case by finding articles and other information to give insight how they fared. From what I've seen, they have been doing great. I mean, really all the reviews that I read, they really have done well. So,
yeah,
I couldn't really find anything much more than that. But because every time I type in Ritz-Carlton, it just wants me to buy a hotel night.
Buy a hotel room, yeah.
Yeah, it just wants me to go visit. I can't really do that. So.
Yeah, that's what it did for me too. It wanted me to go stay the night in St. Louis. Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, is there any last comments that you guys have?
No.
Sweet. Well, thank you all for attending, and I won the broadcast.